Good afternoon. Welcome to Easter Seals. My name's Sherry Nielsen. I'm the president and CEO of Easter Seals. We're so glad to have you here at Camp Sunnyside today. I'm completely honored and humbled to see everyone gathered here today. So many of you have had a major part in the transformational renewal that's happened on our campus that has been allowed us to deliver our mission and impact the individuals we serve. I'd like to thank all of you for coming, and I'd also like to acknowledge the board members who have helped with the leadership and facilitating the growth in the organization that are here today. I'd like to thank the folks from Polk County that have supported this expansion. They have always had a vision of making sure that individuals with disabilities have access to services and have high quality life. We were able to add mental health and brain health to our service selection because they believed in the work that we do. I would also like to thank the many donors who donated so generously to make this project happen, including the Sutherland Foundation, the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines, IMT Insurance, Delta Dental of Iowa, Dr. Richard Deming, the BJ and Tiffany Baker Foundation, Ernest and Florence Sargent family. Thank you for all you've done to allow us to better serve our community. These two leaders who are here sharing the stage with me today, Doug Mcinag and Rick Tolkelson, have had quite literally changed the landscape here at camp. 10 years ago, it seemed like every single building on this campus was in despair. The poor condition of our buildings simply did not reflect the high quality of our services. Then enters Rick Tolkelson on May 12th, 2012. Our friend Steve Niebuhr brought Rick out to our campus to tour. Rick asked how Hubble could help us. I asked him if maybe they could shore up the cabins that were built in the 1960s so rain and mud would not get into the front of the cabins and cause accessibility issues. Rick then gave me my first lesson on asking bigger for a mission that you love. He told me he was going to knock down those cabins and build us new lodges that would better meet the needs of the individuals that we serve and support each year. And in 2013, he did just that. 4 of the old 6 cabins came down. We took sledgehammers to the old buildings and the crumbling shower houses. And then Hubble Realty and their partners built us 2 beautiful brand new lodges in just 7 days that increased our capacity to serve our clients better. Since then, Hubble has had a constant presence here at Camp Sunnyside. Hubble's done the work to all of our buildings that we have improved over the last 10 years, including another extreme build just last September, providing us a brand new child development center right behind you that doubled our capacity, making it possible for us to provide high quality child care and double the number of children that we could say yes to. I think it might be time to give Rick and his team a much deserved break. But before they left, they took this old building and turned it into a brand new wellness center. Rick is responsible for introducing me to my friends and mentors, Doug and Donna Mcinag, who have been so instrumental in the many changes that you see here at camp. Doug and Rick's leadership gave us the courage to grow our network of supporters, setting us up for a successful capital campaign, increasing the community's awareness of our mission, which means people know where to ask for help and how to ask for help. Doug and Donna have visited our camp thanks to Rick's introduction, and they have been a tremendous champion for our missions ever since. And I'm truly honored to welcome Doug Mcinag to the microphone.
You don't have any notes? Oh, so another thing you're better at than I am. So. Okay, well, thanks. It's great to be here. Thank you, Sherry. That noise you hear out there is our equipment working on Greenway Crossing, one of Rick's developments. Lots available. Just wanted to say that right now in case. So, okay, we got to keep going. Chris Sidoris is out here, Rachel. So, all right. Well, like Sherry said, it's amazing what's been accomplished out here in the last 9 years. First of all, another thing that's amazing is the 9 years flew by so fast. But when Rick first introduced Don and I to camp, we really didn't know about this place. I mean, I've lived here, I'm 58 years old, lived here my whole life, and it was just within the last 10 years I really even knew if the Camp Sunnyside was even here. But the one thing we did know, that if Rick was involved and jumped in such a big way, that it had to be a great place. And then once we got familiar with everything that goes on out here, from the extreme build with the cabins, I tell you, it's just, and I've said this before at functions we've had, but if you're ever having a bad day, I promise you, your day is better after you leave the camp than when you get here. It puts so many things in perspective. I mean, you see some of our most challenged citizens out here, and just the joy that they're experiencing on stuff that we just take for granted, daily stuff. A lot of people has asked my wife and I, why are you so involved out here? Do you have a kid that's a camper out here or anything? And I say, no, we don't. And that's exactly why. But it's just, I tell you, Sherry and her staff just performs magic on a daily basis out here, and we're so lucky to have them. So, and as Sherry said, Rick's been a true champion, ensuring the clients of Easter Seals have great facilities to enjoy out here. And he's been involved with all the recent building projects that has made this mission everything it is today and what you see. Starting in 2013 with the cabins, then next was the new aquatic center. We remodeled the lodge next to the aquatic center, launching a capital campaign that built a new administration building, an emergency respite house, a teen center, a new child development center, and of course the new Rick Tollakson Wellness Center behind us today. So that kind of gives you, yes, thank you, Rick. None of that would have happened without Rick. Like I said, without Rick's leadership and Hubble's support, none of this would have happened. I've known and have had the pleasure of working with Rick for decades. And if you get to know Rick, you know, and if you have something like this that you're lucky enough to share with Rick, the first place you go to is Laura, his assistant. So I reached out to Laura and asked if she could kind of give me a list of some of the things Rick was involved in. And when I got that email of the quote-unquote condensed version, trust me, nobody wants me to stand up here that long. I mean, it's a daunting list. Somebody asked, was it helpful? I said, no, it was daunting. But I got to thinking of that and reflecting on that. And though it's just incredible, everything that's been accomplished out here because of Rick's efforts, really what you see is the tip of the iceberg. I think the most important thing Rick has done through his leadership is to inspire others. It's just built so much momentum on his initial investment out here to get everything going. And Rick always says success breeds success. And I know Sherry and I have always talked about everybody, likes to be involved with the winter, and seeing the activity out here. It just, it wasn't after we first came for donors, like for the pool and everything. You'd almost think it'd be harder to keep going back after them, but they would see how everything was being built out here and how nice it was, and more importantly, the mission of what Sherry does. And it was just like Rick always told Sherry. He says, people want to give you money. You just have to ask them. Ask them. So, and one example of that, just to let you know, in the last 9 years, the building out here, the capital expenditure has been $10 million of what's been accomplished. And it just all started with Rick and Steve Niebuhr with your vision to start at the cabins. And of course, I know the most about what goes on out here, but Rick, as I said, is just involved everywhere throughout our community. And it's not only the buildings that you see here, but it's also, as the traction we've gained improving this place, there's a major grant that was provided for Sherry out here. And then I'm sure you all are familiar with the Ronald McDonald House. That's something that Rick got us involved with as well. And wow, what a difference that was. And I think because of that and the addition and everything that Hubble has done, they received a really large grant. So it's just the traction and the momentum that gets going on stuff like this. So I tell you, I've been so fortunate to have Rick as a mentor, and even more so as a friend, and I'm really happy to see his name on this building. So with that being said, please join me in welcoming the man of the hour, Rick Tollakson, to the podium.
Thank you, Doug. Of course, our last conversation was, Rick, are we about done? And then he goes to me, I still got a parking lot to do. I think then we're done. I think Sherry will tell us when we're done. I'm not sure when it is. So I'm going to tell you, I get asked a lot of questions. What started all this is what really happened. So some of you have heard the story, many of you have not. So we'll talk about Sister Stella, and then we'll talk about Sherry. So 2006, Ty Pennington asked us to do the extreme build for the Extreme Makeover Home Edition. It was in a farmstead out by Lincoln, Iowa. It was a lot of fun, but it didn't really impact the Des Moines area. And I felt that if I ever could do a project in Des Moines metro area, I wanted to. I wanted to give back more to our community right here. So in 2007, Sister Stella O'Neill, I had no idea who she was, and a woman named Lori Miles asked to meet with me and talk to me about Anawim. Never heard of Anawim, did not know what they did. They were doing a capital campaign, and they had this project they wanted to do, and I'm feeling pretty good about the extreme makeover, right? So they tell me that they provide homes for the neediest families in our communities, the neediest. And they have single family lots, they have duplex lots, they have other land that they do. And, you know, that's this organization is all about. And could I help them? Now, realistically, I could have said, hey, we'll give you $5,000 and get rid of them, but I'm feeling really big. And, you know, so I said, hey, listen, we will build you a house. We will build you a house in one of your lots. I'm thinking, you know, I'm pretty good. And this woman looks at me and says, really? You can't think any bigger? And you're a CEO. You're not used to people say, can't you think bigger? And you're like, you know, I'm quick on my feet, so I'm going, okay, bigger. You had duplex lots. I'll double down. We'll do a duplex, 2 houses. She says, what, Rick, that's very generous, but can't you think bigger? I said, how big am I supposed to think? She says, well, the project's 9 homes. You want me to build 9 homes? Oh, Rick, I don't want you to do anything, you know? I just want you to think big. Can you think that big? I'm like, hey, all right, I can think that big. Well, that was 2007. In 2008, we went from our best year to our worst year in corporate history, and I'm thinking, how in the heck am I going to build 9 homes? But we rallied all the troops, people like Doug. You start twisting his arm. Everybody came together. We built 9 homes for 9 families in 9 days for Anawim. We gave them that project. It was amazing. I'm out here. They have an event out here called the Corporate Regatta. And everybody says, what's the Corporate Regatta? Well, that is called Lake Cheerio, that huge body of water over there. And they have these regattas, which are actually paddle boats, and it's a big paddle boat race. So if any of you know, the ex-CEO of Wellmark was John Forsyth. It was John Forsyth and a camper and me and a camper, head to head, and I took him down. Now, the key is there's only 2. The real key to winning paddle boat is don't run into people, because once you run into people, you're going nowhere, okay? But it's a lot of fun. I came out here. Sherry would have us tour cabins, and I'd see these cabins. And there's 4 of the existing ones there. They've been totally remodeled, so you can't really get the total effect. What do these cabins look like, okay? They were terrible, okay? They had outdoor. Remember when you go to camp, you used to have outdoor showers? That's what their showers were. They had 1 small shower, 1 bathroom in these cabins. Other than that, you had to go outside. Now, this is a year-round camp, okay, outside of these shower things. And I said, we got to do something. Steve Niebuhr, Senior Vice President of Development Construction, was on the board here. And I said, Steve, I got my next project. I want to do another extreme build. I want to come out here, and I want to tear these cabins down and rebuild them. So he said, Rick, you know, we're going to have to talk to Sherry about this. I said, okay. So go in, meet with Sherry. She kind of told the story a little bit. She was a little intimidated by my questions. Says, Sherry, your cabins. Oh, she starts apologizing immediately. I'm sorry. I know they're deplorable. We have no money. We can't fix them. I don't know what we're going to do. I said, I got this idea. Okay, what's your idea? I want to tear them down and rebuild them. What? You want to tear them down? Well, how long is that going to take? I said, well, last time I checked with Doug, about 30 minutes on a dozer and they're gone. Well, you know, we can't be without them. How long is it going to take to rebuild them? I says, we're going to give ourselves somewhere between a week to 2 weeks to build them. I think we took, 6 or 7 days, Casey? You can't remember. That's what we're going to do. And she goes, what? Really? Yeah, that's what we want to do. Okay? This is our big project. Now, my team looking at it and saying, think bigger. Remember, I was going to replace 8 small cabins. We built 2 7,500 square foot lodges with tornado shelters in them. That was not part of the deal, okay? But they took over. They thought bigger. They went bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? Now, one special note of that day was Sherry. It was her birthday. And as she walked, you know, she looked at me and says, you guys know it's my birthday today? I said, no, but happy birthday, Sherry. So then we'll move. We did the Ronald McDonald House 4 years later. She came to me and says, I got another project. In fact, her and Doug came to me and said, we got another project. Okay. Notice how the tables begin to turn with Doug. Okay. That's what friendship's all about, right? And I want to do this child development center. Okay. And I'm thinking big, Rick. How big are you talking about? It's 5,000 square feet. It's going to be a 5,000 square foot building. Well, you know, Ronald McDonald House is like 23,000, 5,000. We thought, hey, that's a piece of cake. Of course, the building is 13,000 square feet. Sherry thought bigger, and so did the architect. Because we said, you know, we talked SVPA to come in here. They do this. You know, they have somebody that has a huge amount of expertise in doing child development centers. And they came out here and said, okay, this is what you really need. You need this 13,000 to service those 100 kids. And we toured it today with Sherry, and what'd you say? You'll be full probably within a few months. There has been so much demand for that child development center. And then we toured this building here, the wellness center, and which I'm so humbled and proud to have my name on. I mean, mental health are major issues. I understand that. I understand the need for it, and they really have a program here that just fit in nicely with a lot of support with Polk County supervisors and RFP they could respond to. Our team remodeled it all. Colleen, you were the project manager, right? And she's a board member, and it was just amazing. So yes, I continually talk to Sherry about thinking bigger. Sister Stella talked me, you know, maybe intimidated me into thinking bigger, but you always think bigger. And I'm just so excited for that. Thank you for all being here. My partner Rachel here, one of my biggest supporters. Her parents joined her. My dad's here with TJ and Alyssa, my 2 kids, a couple of my grandkids, Tyson and Tegan. And, you know, huge trade partner support, Dwayne and Pam, Bob. Everybody's here to support it, and of course the Hubble team, they're here. And my fraternity brothers, a bunch of them showed up all over the place, and so to razz me tremendously, so they got a whole evening to do that. And I appreciate all of you coming out and supporting me in this. You know, as I said, it's very humbling to do this. I'm excited to do an unveiling. I saw the sign earlier today, so it's cool, okay? You know, usually I just see my name at bottom of contracts over to Macadis. That's about it. But no, this is better. This is better. So thank you again. Thank you for support. Continue to support Easter Seals Camp Sunnyside, Sherry's mission. I know we will. We're not going to stop. We know there's more to do. Doug, I got a feeling there's more than a parking lot left. Okay, but we'll tackle that when it comes. Thank all of you for attending today. Thanks.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Doug. The Wellness Center will house both our outpatient brain health therapy program and our residential children's crisis stabilization programs. Both of these are critically important new services for our organization that started as a response to a tremendous community need. Sadly, death by suicide is the leading cause of death for children 10 to 14. We know that the right services at the right time and the right place matter. Not only do they matter, but they save lives. Since opening our doors to each program, we have quickly filled caseloads and been at capacity, supporting individuals and families with their brain health needs. Already, we've heard from dozens of families and parents that the services made a difference. Not only did they make a difference, but they saved their child's life. The impact on these services cannot simply be overstated. Rick, thank you for helping me to have the courage to think bigger and for teaching us to ask big. Because of you, our community has come together, making it possible for Easter Seals to say yes. Thank you for giving so generous of your skills and your talents. Thank you for loving our mission and the people that we support as much as you do. And thank you for helping build Camp Sunnyside that has the ability to welcome thousands of more children and clients and campers for decades to come. I can think of no better way to honor your impact than to make sure that your name is on our building that you made possible. Please join me by the entrance right over here for the ribbon cutting and a photo, and then you can enjoy a tour. And then after that, we would invite you to Hero Hall, also remodeled by our Hubble team, to enjoy a beverage and a refreshment across the meadow. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening. All right, without further ado, please help me with a big round of applause as we unveil our new sign. Now we would like to welcome all of you to come up here because we want a picture to remember everyone who helped us celebrate this great day and this great man. So please come up here and then we're going to cut the ribbon.
All right, photographers. Mark is right. It's okay.
Tell us how ready you are. No, you got it.
Don't cover his head. Ready.
1, 2, 3.
Woo!